This is Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, and you are listening to Shootin' Poop.
The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Johners Podcasting Network proudly sometimes presents the greatest three-man podcast show in the world with the premier Joey K, the six-star trivia machine Dennis Day Jr., DDJ, and the hot one, Giovanni Too Hottie. This is Shootin' Shit. This is episode 44. This is mid-year awards show. Episode 44 starts now, guys. Mid-year awards. Let's go. All right, gentlemen, like we said in the intro, mid-year awards. We are roughly midway through the calendar year of 2022. Let's go ahead and put a stamp on it. Who do we think right now is worthy of the Shooties, our mid-year award system? We'll go ahead and give our ideas on things such as, male performer of the year, female performer of the year, best show, best storyline, maybe best moment, best mark out, and Joey K will probably just shit over everything. But what do we start off, guys?
Let's start out with let's kind of work our way from the bottom of the list that we have in our show chat and work our way up. Let's start with moment/story of the year so far.
All right, who wants to take the first stab?
I'll throw it out there.
Go ahead, Joey K.
Here we go.
So, I think the elephant in the room is probably the Vince McMahon scandal. But I think we've talked a lot about that in recent weeks, and there's probably a lot more to talk about in the coming weeks coming up.
It sounds like it's, if you listen to the interview, they had Busted Open had the two guys that wrote the story on Wall Street Journal on the other day, and the way it sounds like there's more to come.
Dude, you know what shocked me about all that real quick before Joey gets into his stuff? The guys literally stated if this was any other sports promotion, whether it was NFL, MLB, NBA, this would be a lot worse than what it has been. And the issue is everybody's just like, oh, well, that's the Vince character. But this isn't the character. This is Vince the man. So
this is the CEO of a $1 billion company.
Yeah.
So that's the reality. And unfortunately, in pro wrestling, those lines always get blurred, especially with the character of Mr. McMahon. This is a person. This is real lives that have been fucked with. And more that comes out is crazy. But I'm going to stray away from that. My moment/story of the year, I'm actually going to go moment of the year. And that is the official announcement of what we just witnessed a few weeks ago. Forbidden Door.
Nice.
That is something I think that we've talked about since the beginning of AEW. Obviously the start of AEW, the core foundation of AEW, a lot of talents who really, built their names in New Japan, ending their contracts, leaving New Japan, gambling on themselves. The Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Cody, Hangman. You have these guys that were absolutely dominating in New Japan, and they took a gamble, started a new company with Tony Khan, So there's always been a connection to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And we finally, after years of waiting, got to see the fruition of that. And I think, honestly, the show did live up to the majority of the hype.
Yes.
You know, I know I doubted it a lot of who's going to be on the card. We know that we talked about the injury bug. So many people that were hurt, a lot of these dream matches that were kind of shelved a little bit due to injuries. You know, Bryan Danielson being hurt, so we didn't get to see him against Zack Sabre Jr. CM Punk getting hurt, so we didn't get to see him against Tanahashi. Like there's certain things, but even through the injuries, even through all that, getting that announcement and the hype that we all built up so much, to me, that was my moment of the year, halfway point so far. And then getting to the show, seeing who showed up, your surprises, you know, your surprise entrant of Claudio to the Blackpool Combat Club. You know, so many good moments, good matches. You know, it's 2022. We got to see Minoru Suzuki face off against Eddie Kingston in the middle of a ring on a pay-per-view for AEW. Like, I mean, it was great. There was a lot of great moments to that show, but that's my moment of the year so far, was finally getting Forbidden Door. And of course, I think we are leaning now towards what's happening with the sequel, Forbidden Door 2, Electric Boogaloo, coming to a Tokyo Dome near you, possibly in January. We'll see.
I like that take. I didn't even, think about it, but that's a really good one. For me, obviously, you talked about the elephant room being the Vince McMahon, but that's been, like I said, that's been talked to death and stuff. And that's obviously, I think, something that we would all say. And I mean, like you said, there's still more to come.
I think on a year-end awards, that's probably, we're going to talk more about that, because we got months of more shit to come out and stuff to happen. So,
So for me, when I always think of, like a moment or, story of the year, I always try to think of something that's so memorable because of the fact that it's something that we thought we would never see. Much in the case of Joey K, talking about the announcement of Forbidden Door. But I'm going to go with something that I think that beginning of this year, if they were to put the odds out for a lot of these moments, this one may have been one of those ones where you could have bet like $5 and you'd come back and win like, 20 grand or something like that, because it's something that, it's like that horse that has like the 100 to 1 odds wins the Kentucky Derby, something like that. And to me, and believe it or not, this is actually going to be in the this is a WWE thing.
oh,
To me, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestling at WrestleMania and actually wrestling a match.
Ooh, I was ready to call you a mark because I felt you were going somewhere else with it, but fantastic. I like it.
Yeah. I was starting to feel the adrenaline in my veins as you were saying that.
And see, I normally would have, if the Austin thing didn't happen, that probably would be my pick. But I think a lot of people are honestly less surprised to see Cody back in the WWE versus Austin actually wrestling a match. His first match in about 19 years. And I mean, it wasn't just like, throwing punches and, stuff like they went all over the place. Wow. Austin took some really, some decent bumps.
He took that backdrop onto the floor in the first few minutes when they went into the crowd. And we talked about that on an episode of the show where it was like, oh shit, like, did that really just happen?
Dude, I would have loved for JR to have been there because I could have heard it just like perfectly. By God, he's killed him. That son of a bitch. Austin has a family, damn it.
Yeah, it's just, to me, I mean, just everything from, just when it was originally announced, okay, it's going to be a segment. Then it's like, he gets there and he's like, oh, I didn't call you out I called you out for a match. And they win at about 10, 15 minutes. So like I said, it wasn't just a schmaz or whatever. I mean, like Austin went out and he looked really damn good.
It was The Rock versus the Wyatt family for 30 seconds. It was a good 15-minute match, and it was in the crowd. It was on the entrance ramp. It was in the ring, around the ring. It was
in the crowd, like you mentioned. Yeah.
Did that finish the night off?
That was the finish to, was it night one?
Night
right?
one.
Yeah,
They made
so
it
that
with
was
night
like
one.
the pseudo main event of night one.
It wasn't me.
They
And,
had
and-
that one,
and in all honesty, this was probably the reason Kevin Owens resigned with WWE was for what was this right here. It had to have been.
Yeah,
100%.
And that's so that's my pick. Austin wrestling a match in 2022.
Now, before Jovan says his pick, I was actually my number 2 for a different reason was this. That Cody moment was like hovering number 2 or 3 moment for me, but for a very specific reason. It was the real first acknowledgement of WWE acknowledging AEW's existence.
Mhm.
That was a big moment because for a long time they have, well, since the inception of AEW, they have downplayed the existence of AEW, that it's irrelevant, anything. And having Cody debut at WrestleMania as the American Nightmare, with his music
and everything,
with his ring gear, full, American Nightmare Cody
Lander.
That was a moment.
Such a jerk.
That was a huge moment because it was WWE actually acknowledging the existence and relevancy of AEW. That was a big game changer, whether people think that or not. To me, it really was. So that was high up on my list, 2 or 3 for moments so far of the year, just because of the implications of, hey, there's another major player company out there. So and the E doesn't do that. They always downplay that shit. Oh, he's been a world champion he's been a champion around the world. Like, they'll say things, subtle things like that. Not
He's won titles everywhere he's been.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a big moment. But go on.
All right, hot one.
My moment of the year so far. CM Punk, the ROH entrance from Revolution. I was there.
You were there. I know.
The electricity that went through that place for the diehard ROHs who instantly creamed their pants and cried at the exact same time.
Were you one of those people that creamed their pants and cried at the same time?
You're goddamn right I was. So much filth and regret and happiness at the same time.
And brown skid marks.
You can't forget that.
Skid marks.
I mean, everybody's got a little bit of a zebra stripe every once in a while. But anyway, CM Punk coming out, it was amazing, man. I mean, for marks, for fans like us, man, especially those of us who love ROH, it was something you never thought you would see again, especially with Punk, because Punk was away for so long, said he would never wrestle again. He lost the love of it. Shout out to, Arrow, Mr. Stephen Amell, because I really do think freaking that show he has, Heels kind of gave Punk that love back because he was on there as an old vet wrestler, which was a pretty damn good show.
I still have yet to watch it, but I want to.
Dude, Jesus,
so fucking good, dude.
So fucking good.
Holy shit. Dude, I got stars literally just for that show.
Me too.
Fuck, that was a good show.
But I think that may have been kind of the rekindling of that wrestling love, because Punk, when you see him on the show, he just was so natural. And I think that could have got him to start that itch, because then now out of nowhere, boom, I'm back. AEW full swing. And they debuted Punk on the week that he was on the damn show. So I don't know.
Really?
Man.
That I did not know that. Again, I don't have stars, so
so good. But that's my moment, man. CM Punk coming out with the White Long Boys for the dog collar match at Revolution. I honestly, it was such an intimate pop, because I know we always like to talk about the big pops. That was a deep cut fan pop. For the ones who got it right off the bat, we all shared that pop.
Agreed.
All right.
That's up there on the list.
All right. Let's go up. Let's start out now with our next category. Gentlemen, who are your Shooty winners for Breakout Star of the Year? Joey can let off the last one. So Hot One, why don't you lead us off here?
Breakout Superstar of the Year. There cannot be anyone else in this category besides the man who's made a name for himself this year, honestly, in 2 matches. 1 match, if we're really wanting to be nitpicky about it, and that's Wheeler Yuta.
Motherfucker.
I know. Suck it.
That's a good one.
That was my pick, but you're 100% right.
Still pick it. I mean, maybe you might have a different take as to why.
Dude,
I mean,
there's no better take than Wheeler Yuta, because that match with Mox, that he was a made man coming out there with the intensity, wanted to be part of the BCC. Then he carries that on with, the following matches, and it's just he's getting more intense and more intense. And then the Crimson Mask match, he's stuck like a bleeding pig out there, and people fell in love with this kid. There you go, bleeding like a stuck pig out there, and people fell in love with this dude. To the point to where they're cheering for him to beat Mox, who was one of the most over wrestlers in AEW, and he's a relative newbie.
Yeah.
That kid put a freaking rocket on his back, let him keep climbing. That's your future star.
That's a really good one. Joey K, you gonna piggyback on Giovanni, or do you got someone else you want to discuss?
I mean, the clear winner to me for this through mid-year is Wheeler, and Javon nailed it. Wrestlers out there who want to get over, Wheeler got over with the crowd. He took the storyline they gave him and he fucking ran with it. And Javon, you said it exactly right. By the time he's going against Mox, they are cheering him to defeat the probably top 3 over people in all of AEW. They want to see this kid win. They built him up, and now I'll piggyback and say where he's gone since he's been part of Blackpool, and he's developing and changing into that style. His ring gear has changed. All those things. There's no one else in my books for the first half of this year other than Wheeler Yuta. Absolute breakout star of the year. I will give an honorable mention to Hook. He was given a spot, and he absolutely took the ball and ran with it as well too. Not used as much.
You want to talk someone who's over,
but that's majestic though.
But
that's part of his ire.
It is, and I feel like there's a slow burn, and the second half of the year there's going to be more coming for him. So my 1 and 2, my number 1 Wheeler, but my honorable mention has to be Hook, because
you must not be on wrestling internet wise, man, because there's a lot coming for Hook. I'm just saying, both sides.
Well, yeah, I know there's stuff coming out there. I know that, but we're just talking about the first half of the year, and they kind of backed him off a little bit, for good reason, and I get it. They're letting that mystique build. That's a big part of it. But everything that kid's done so far has been really good, and the crowd is into it.
Yep.
So, that would be my honorable mention. But Wheeler Yuta, absolutely breakout star of the year.
All right, so I got I like Wheeler Yuta.
Oh, a swerve.
But yeah, I mean, he's definitely in the
But-
he's definitely in the in the clubhouse near the top of the scoreboard there. But I got one that you guys might not necessarily have thought about, but when you hear why, I think it may not change your opinion, but you'll be on board with my way of thought. To me, breakout star is always someone who like takes it from one level to the next. And I think both your explanations on Wheeler Yuta and Joey K talking about Hook, he definitely fits that. But to me, I always think of someone who may be like as a breakout star is always seen in one way, but then he goes on a little bit of a run, or he or she, I should say, he goes on a little bit of a run that's like, wow, this person is really good. And for me, someone who I don't necessarily want to say didn't think was a good wrestler because this person is not, but the last few months have really shown me how good this person is. I'm going with Dax Harwood of FTR.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, before this year, has he had really any notable singles matches?
Not that I can
Obviously, if it's taking you this long to come up with something, the answer is no.
I could see him being most undervalued.
But,
Like
okay.
because I see the point for Dax.
Mm-hmm.
Tag team specialist is what he was branded, right?
Yes.
And then you get into the Bret Hart Classic, or the Owen Hart
Cup, the match he had with his partner.
with
Then he
Cash.
had a really good match with in the tournament with Adam Cole.
With Adam
Let's
Cole,
not forget,
baby.
he also had a great match. I think it was Dynamite with CM Punk.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Also
then
had a good one with
and then
Fish.
let's not forget about the match he had with Will Ospreay a week or two before Forbidden Door.
So yeah, and I think you don't ever want to say an injury was fortunate for anybody, but the injury to Cash kind of helped Dax be able to get some of those single matches, right?
It's definitely put him out there, but it's just like I said. I mean, and it's just to me. I mean, like I'm looking at obviously, and don't be surprised if we talk about FTR a little bit later on in the show. But to me, I mean, I've went into this year looking at Dax one way, but after especially these last few months, I'm looking at him in a completely different light, and to me, that epitomizes a breakout star. I do also have an honorable mention I want to say, and this is another shocker that I'm surprised nobody's talked about. My honorable mention, I'm going with Mr. Money in the Bank Theory. Think about it. I mean, he's been basically being billed as Mr.
Roman
McMahon
Reigns 2015.
protege. No, definitely not that yet.
Oh no, it's getting shoved down our face. You lose the U.S. title to win the Money in the Bank, and you're probably going to take the belt soon at SummerSlam, maybe.
But I mean, he can go. Like you can't deny he can't go. I mean, he's good at what he does because obviously people were pissed when he got inserted and won the Money in the Bank ladder match, but people are talking about him.
Okay, Vince. Not all publicity is good publicity. Let me come out here on Monday Night Raw after being accused of paying only $5 million or $3 million to ladies, and let me continue to come out after it's been discovered that it's been $20 million. Just tonight, we're gonna have Austin Theory.
It's amazing how much more money he spent on sex than he did to buy WCW.
I know at that point he could have just paid for it the right way and not have any issues, but no NDAs.
Right.
I'm just joking. That is.
I just think, like I said, to me, I think Austin Theory is someone like that's had a really good breakout year. So again, it's my opinion.
And
you don't have to like it.
It stinks. It's
all right, Jay Sherman. All right, Jay Sherman.
I love that show.
That's such a great show, guys. If you're looking for a show, like a new show to binge and get into, go if you can find The Critic, go watch it. It's so good.
So good.
All right. We got a few more here.
I'm just gonna say this. I can't give an award to somebody who sends unsolicited dick pics.
Allegedly
Sends unsolicited dick pics. So you're out of my running. Plus, I just find his character annoying as fuck. So I don't care how over he is. Not to mention, it's a little creepy to have those allegations and then have the worst of the worst, Vince McMahon, who all those allegations are coming to light, be your biggest fucking supporter. So sorry.
Shout out to Joey Ryan, who got fired from Disneyland because they found out you were the dick flip guy.
Homeboy can't fucking work at Disney running the fucking Jungle Cruise. Shout out Dwayne Johnson. But
good movie, by the way.
Actually, it was. We watched that recently. Anyway, Austin Theory, though, is pushed to the fucking moon and beyond. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, we'll just sweep that shit under the rug and just say it's just not true. Because there's, like, that's the thing. Yeah, allegations are not. And it's all allegedly, and that's fine and great. But
so were the Velveteen Dreams, and we see where he's at, too.
Exactly. Like, there's a lot of other guys who are like a lot of allegedly, nothing really proven, but they're out. But here's Austin Theory getting shoved down. Enzo.
How you doing?
Enzo proved that it was bullshit.
Yep.
Enzo actually fucking defended himself and was like, no, it's all bullshit. And
how you doing?
Yeah, and brought the fucking receipts, but he gets dumped out of the company. But Austin Theory's shoved down our fucking throat. Nah.
Well, I hear that's what Vince liked to do, so hell, it happens.
Yeah, well, apparently he pays millions of dollars to shove it down people's throats. So allegedly.
All right, so
breakout start of the year: Vince McMahon's dick,
the genetic jackhammer.
I would need it.
Vinnie Mac,
little Vin,
little Vinny.
Breakout start of the year, just fucking getting NDAs signed left and right, baby.
There you go. There's your breakout start of the year. The non-disclosure.
The NDA.
The NDA. Fuck, dude.
All right.
Moving on.
Real people.
Moving on. All right. So we've all watched a lot of wrestling. We've all seen a lot of episodes of Dynamite, Rampage, Raw, SmackDown, premium live events, Ring of Honor pay-per-views, AEW pay-per-views. Gentlemen, what is your show of the year? And I'm going to start this off, and I've got a feeling this is going to be almost unanimous.
Ooh. Nope. Bold claim.
Very bold
it may be, you know what? If it's not, you know what? I'm sure we all have a good, we all have our reasons.
Because I'm an asshole. I know. Fuck.
Well, that's just an obvious given. That's what you call, that's like one of those where little Michelle would pop up and go, duh.
Duh.
But to me, the show of the year, and Joey K gave a lot of love to this a couple of segments ago. To me, it's got to be Forbidden Door. It was just from start to finish, and I'm not talking the main show. I'm talking about the pre-show, because they had some really good matches on the buy-in and everything. And we're talking stuff that we thought we'd never see. People that, you know, a lot of us wrestling fans were watching for the first time. Just the experience of seeing so many talents from so many different companies and stuff. I mean, and every match pretty much delivered. Some exceeded expectations. And, you know, we had some, you know, proverbial match of the year candidates. And what is with that shit-eating grin you just had on your face, Jovan?
I'm going to let you finish like Kanye said. I'm going to let you finish.
Screw him. But no, for me, I got to go Forbidden Door. Hot One, what do you got?
All right. I would have gone Forbidden Door. Would have. But here's my issue with Forbidden Door.
She said no to you, didn't she?
Every time. Every damn
You know
time.
what? You know what? Before you give your pick, I know why you're not picking Forbidden Door, because your dumbass couldn't even turn a lock to unlock yourself out of the Forbidden Door.
Yes. This has all been a long con. The reason I'm not picking Forbidden Door is because I got stuck behind the Forbidden Door. No.
You forgot to turn stupid lock. God damn dumbass.
Damn it, Bobby. Anyway. I would go, and I really do want to go Forbidden Door. I would like to, But the reason I can't is Orange Cassidy, number one. Number two, Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm really had no business being on the card. It was not AEW versus NJPW set match. And yes, I know NJPW doesn't have a women's division. They rely on Stardom. We could have found somebody to try to come over. Hell, I would have been happier with Thunder Rosa versus Maki Ito. I would have been happier with Thunder Rosa versus.
What about if we had that one match that we that they had on? I think it was Dark the other night. That was from when Thunder Rosa was in Japan. The girl that beat her, and I mean, we're gonna get that here in a few. When she comes to the States to challenge Thunder Rosa.
Would have been fantastic at Forbidden Door. Made a whole lot more sense than Tony Storm, and then they would go to tag together as Thunderstorm, Thunder. That had to be some of the dumbest stuff ever. So yeah, that match made no sense. Putting the stipulation onto the Jericho match, the big man match between Jericho's team and Eddie's team, kind of blew it for me because the heels needed going into blood and guts. Okada didn't do a grandiose entrance, plus the flubbed finish on that, the flubbed finish on the FTR match. Tanahashi looked a little slow against Mox. Oh, yeah, and yes, I'm very nitpicking right now. That's a lot of, boo-hoo, baha, and bullshit, but that's what we're allowed to do with our show, damn it. Right. So that for those reasons, I cannot pick Forbidden Door. Shit, you have Will Ospreay, a generational talent, going against Orange Cassidy. That's still going to be my number one issue. So I go to a pay-per-view that was a lot better than it deserved to be. And I think that this is maybe why it was so far, for me, show of the year. And I'm taking it back to Revolution.
I actually gave some consideration to that show. I will give you that.
Revolution top to bottom. Yes, there was points where the Punk match went a little long in the tooth. Had it been a little shorter and got directed to the point, it would have been great. But Punk was telling the same story he did with Raven. If you guys know the story, you've seen the match. It's mirror to mirror. Let it play out. The Wardlow match, man, the squash. People have been waiting for that. The build-up around the squash. I mean, Jesus.
Wait, what squash? Wardlow was in the face of the Revolution ladder match.
That's right. The face of the Revolution ladder match.
It won't without a Giovanni Tuhati botch.
No. It was the build-up to the squash. That was when you started to see the deterioration of Wardlow and MJF. Wardlow came out, got the biggest pop of the night, and that's what started the whole story for Wardlow. So that's another reason why I have this show up there. And I mean, just hands down, I think Revolution was better than Forbidden Door so far. So for me, I'm going to have to go Revolution.
Like you said, I gave that consideration, so I'm not going to. I'm well done.
Thank you very much, sir. Joey Premier.
Well, I'm going different than both of you guys.
Joe is going Midget Wrestling Backyards 29.
Little People Wrestling, sir. Thank you. PC.
My local promotion still calls themselves MWAs, Midgets with Attitude.
That's fucking great.
I think what we have up on
fucking classic.
I think they call them micro.
Yeah, well, not here. They do it every freaking Taco Fest. It's Midgets with Attitude.
No, my show of the year is going to be Super Card of Honor.
Oh, good pick.
Man, that's a really good one.
And I'll tell you why. There's a few matches on there that absolutely didn't disappoint in any way. And if you are not a fucking fan of professional wrestling in general.
Yeah, that Brian Cage versus Ninja Mac was awesome.
I fucking loved it. Don't be a dick. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Says the guy who's like, Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy is going to be the fucking greatest thing since a goddamn egg white omelet. Go fuck yourself. Fuck out of here, you goof. with your fucking silly takes. No, that card had some fucking amazing matches. Number one, and spoiler fucking alert, this is going the FTR versus the Briscoes. That was worth the fucking price of admission 3 times over, hands down. Don't be surprised to hear me talk about that in the very near future. Gresham versus Bandito. We finally got the champion versus champion match. It delivered. Wheeler Yuta versus Josh Woods in a pure match, which we all know how I feel about the pure division because I fucking love it.
Dear God, DK, I hope you sign Josh Woods for the pure division.
I hope so. Suzuki versus Rhett Titus. Thank you.
Awesome.
Jay Lethal, Lee Moriarty. Great fucking match.
Yep.
We also got the return of Samoa Joe that night. Even the Swerve Strickland Alex Zane match was a great fucking match.
Yep.
You had Colt versus Blake Christian in the pre-show.
Yep. That I'm like going down the list here. Top to bottom, for me, that was a good card. And it was amplified by the fact that I didn't know what to expect with the return. There you go. Get your fucking little headband out there.
No,
What does everybody want?
The one thing is that this is the actual headband that Colt wore at Super Card of Honor.
Oh,
what does everybody want?
So
that's why I had this, because I got this off ColtMerch.com.
As the resident Ring of Honor fucking diehard fan of this show, I didn't have super high hopes for this card being the first one under the Tony Khan AEW banner, but it really delivered. Thought it was a great card. It actually felt a lot like a Ring of Honor card than an AEW show. I know some people will disagree. Some Ring of Honor face will disagree, but for what it was, I thought it felt way more Ring of Honor than AEW. I loved it so far this year. That's my card of the year right there. Event of the year.
Good choice.
And I like how you brought that up, because it made me think we were talking a little earlier about, moment/story of the year. That's something that's really not, that there's not really being talked about and stuff, right. But it should be, Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor, because that's big. Because one of the things that I brought up when we discussed this, when this went down, as I said, I had a feeling that Tony Khan is going to do with the Ring of Honor what Vince should have done when he bought WCW, and so far it seems like that's the case. He's running Ring of Honor as a separate promotion, and he's treating it like, Ring of Honor, and he's doing it justice. So.
Agreed.
And yes, I think we're all excited for the Briscoes versus FTR #2 here coming up next weekend.
Yes.
And speaking of which, our next category, match of the year. So obviously my fucking pick is FTR versus the Briscoes 1. Probably outdone by FTR versus the Briscoes 2 in the coming weeks. Gentlemen, discuss.
Gee, Jovan, are you shocked by his pick?
I'm not.
I think our mark of the year goes to Joey. Our mark of the year, Shooty, goes to Joey K and his Ring of Honor love.
Dude, let me just tell you, every other pick for the rest of the night is going to be FTR for me, so fuck off.
Female star of the year.
Female performer of the year, FTR.
FTR.
Whatever.
Oh, boy. But
they would kill the women's division. Literally kill the women's division.
Yeah. FTR versus FTR.
Make it happen.
But no, for me, I can't. I got to go with Joey K on this one too. I mean, that match had everything. I mean, it had just blood. And this was something that goes back to Final Battle when FTR showed up after the Briscoes had beaten, it was, I think, OGK for the tag titles.
It was OGK.
What's that?
It was the OGK.
Including my best smelling wrestler of 2022, Matt Taven.
Yeah. No, not just 2022, for Infinity and beyond.
I don't think anybody's going to top him. Oh, wait. Never mind. Somebody can top him.
Uh-oh. Breaking
on.
news.
Who?
I'd rather not say yet. We'll have to wait till the end of the year.
Ooh.
Ooh, a little bit of a tease for all you shooters out there. Tune into our year-end award special coming in December.
I got something.
Oh boy, but no, for me, there was a lot of good. I mean, we could talk about Seth versus Cody, Hell in a Cell, which the fact that Cody wrestled that match with a torn pec was amazing. I know Anarchy in the Arena's got a lot of love, and rightfully so, and stuff. But yeah, just to me, you got to go FTR versus the Briscoes, and I'm concerned about the second match because it has so much to live up to. If it's going to try to top the first one, but if any two teams can go out there and top an instant classic, it's these two teams right here. And please, dear God, Tony K, sign the Briscoes after this.
I agree.
I hope so.
I do too.
Are you making it 3 for 3, or do you got something else?
I would love to make it 3 for 3 because I love the Briscoes and I love FTR. But if I do, and I just want to preface this, if I do, we will be all FTR writers for the remainder of the show. So I will not pick FTR versus the Briscoes one. What I'm going to do, though, is a match that happened on the very first big pay-per-view of 2022.
Ooh.
And, of course, that is NJPW Wrestle Kingdom. Day 2.
Oh.
Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay. Such an amazing matchup.
Absolutely.
Fight forever for both of these two guys.
I thought about that one too, actually.
I have to give it the nod, man. I hate doing Wrestle Kingdom match as match of the year because it could technically be like the previous year or this year because it happened so early in the year. But this is the midway point. For midway right now, that still sticks out to me as being one of the best matches of the year.
That's up there. That's in my top 3 easily.
That's so very well done. All right, so we got 3 more categories we're gonna do, guys. Let's go tag team of the year. Hot One, lead us off.
Tag team of the year. There's no other choice than
there it is. There it
Lincoln
is.
Your two-time AEW tag team champions. I'm joking.
The Bushwhackers.
It's not the Bucks. It's FTR. There's no other option. Dax and Cash, your current ROH, NJPW, AAA tag team champions.
Yeah, I can't. That when this got brought up, was the only team I could think of because they're doing something that's really never really been done in the tag team division. I mean, we saw it last year with Kenny Omega, becoming the belt collector as well. But FTR's kind of taking that mantle as like, you know what? FTR's like, hold my beer. And
soon to be AEW tag team champions.
That's the feeling.
I mean, we had a little bit of a swerve, no pun intended, actually pun intended, thrown into that, but that possibility. But I mean, yeah, to me, it's the only way I see this going is that they get that as well too. But I don't think there's really any other option here other than FTR because, like I said, I mean, they win the AAA tag titles. What do they call them? Like the Super Ranas or whatever is what they were billed as when they won them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, and then they go to, then the whole thing with Ring of Honor comes up. We have the tease at Final Battle, and then it kind of goes dark for a little bit, and then Tony Khan, then they announce Supercard of Honor. Are we going to see this match, with the Briscoes and FTR? And like, it's kind of up in the air till like a couple weeks before. And, Tony Khan buys the show. And the next thing you know, that gets announced. They win that. And then at Forbidden Door, they win the IWGP tag team titles. And they're super over with the crowd.
Oh, God, yeah.
And you want to think about how over they are. the promo that happened, not the Dynamite that just finished up, but the one the week before where we're setting up the tag title match that we just saw. Congrats to Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee on becoming the AEW Tag Team Champions. But I mean, who was the crowd chanting for during that promo last week?
Yeah. I mean,
it's just to me. There's nobody else. For me. It's FTR as well.
You can look at any tag team in any company right now. Nobody's hot as FTR, hands down. In the past, we're midway of July right now, 6.5 months. Tell me a tag team that's hotter than them. Period.
The Usos are getting booked well, but it's just one show.
Oh,
FTR is going everywhere.
The Usos are maybe the only other ones, and it's not, but it's still a pretty wide gap in my opinion.
If I have to pick a number 2, yeah, the Usos.
Yep.
They're having a fucking great year, and good for them. But what you just said, we're talking about the IWGP Tag Team Champions, the AAA. We have just absolute, and go back through their history. These guys have held the title for everywhere they've went.
Yep.
I
Raw,
mean,
SmackDown, NXT.
7-star FTR, you guys.
Yep.
I mean, hands down, and the Ring of Honor titles. Let's just be real. Like, nobody's having a better year. And DDJ, you said it earlier. Look at what they're doing individually.
Yep.
Match of the year candidate for me, Dax versus Cash in the opening round of the Owen Hart Cup. Seriously, come on. That just solidified everything they're doing as a tag team when they can have some great matches as individuals as well too. Nobody's as hot as them right now. They're building to be the AEW Tag Team Champs as well again, which is going to be fantastic. I cannot wait for that. But hell of a year so far. I hope it continues. And like I said, we're getting FTR Briscoes too in just 2 weeks. So
it's kind of weird, though. Kind of weird that the events of tonight happened the way they did, with the Bucks dropping the titles to Swerve and to fucking Keith Lee, because it kind of feels like, did the Bucks not want to do the job, so they let someone else do it, because the Bucks didn't take the pin. So, I mean, what happened was the plan to get FTR the belts. The Bucks weren't really for it, but that's what creative wants.
No, I don't think it's necessarily that. I just think it was something that's thrown in there because everybody's expecting to get, and I still think we're going to get the Bucks versus FTR at All Out for winner take all.
How? The Bucks don't have a belt.
There's still about 6-7 weeks between now and All Out. The Bucks can easily get those belts back.
And then they'll be 3-time champions, so it won't matter when they drop it to FTR, who will be 2-time champions.
Why not? I just think it's one of those, it's we're getting that road to All Out in FTR versus the Bucks, but instead of going straight through, they just stopped off to take the scenic route a little bit.
You want to make a bet right now?
What's that?
I'll bet you right now, this is July 13th, 2 days before All Out tickets go on sale. The day before, maybe pre-sale tickets, like the coded tickets, where they can be like, hey, get into the show. Because I think they'll have to send out a pre-sale code somehow for tomorrow.
Well, they would have to get going on it because they didn't really give people a lot of time for those tickets.
But anyways, we're here the night that Swerve and Our Glory won the belts. 2 nights before the tickets actually go on sale for All Out. So this is a long time away. This is a long time thing. I guarantee you, I'm willing to bet you right now, a fresh, cold beer at the freaking Now Center, that we don't get FTR versus the Bucks, because the Bucks won't be tag team champions.
Yeah, I you know what? Okay, run that by me one more time, just to make sure I understand this bet correctly.
I am willing to bet that we do not get FTR versus the Bucks at All Out, because the Bucks will not be AEW tag team champions.
And what are we betting?
Cold beer.
Fuck it. You know what? I'll take that. I'll do that bet.
All right.
All right. So Joey K had to step away for a little bit here, so we're gonna kind of, take the reins here real quick and stuff.
That's when you start peaking during a show. I've had that issue before.
Oh man. So we gave our picks for a tag team of the year. Let's we got 2 more categories to go here. Let's do female wrestler of the year, and for me, it wasn't actually that hard to figure this one out. And for me, this is someone who's had a really good year. Has actually had a really good last couple of years. She's already main evented a WrestleMania. She's won the Royal Rumble. She's a former SmackDown Women's Champion, and she's your current Raw Women's Champion. I'm going with Bianca Belair as my pick for a female wrestler of the year. She had a banger and arguably the best match between both nights of WrestleMania against Becky Lynch and stuff. And she's been killing it. I mean, had a good match against Carmella. It's looking like she's going to they're going to run it back with Becky at SummerSlam, or possibly make it a 3-way and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, and she is what she says she is. She is the EST. She's the, the quickest, the toughest, the strongest, the fastest, everything. She's one of those talents that she can talk a good game, and she backs it up in the ring each and every night she gets out there. So for me, I'm going with Bianca Belair as my pick of female wrestler of the year.
I like it. I like that pick, man. I think she's had she definitely has had a good story for the year. I mean, she had that squash match that she rebounded from, got her Mania moment. Then this year she's looked strong as all hell. Yeah, I could give it to Bianca. She's since regaining the title, she's kind of held herself in good manner, good form. She's had great matches, so I can't really down her as not being, the women's, midway point being woman wrestler of the year, female wrestler of the year. But I can make a case for somebody else a bit stronger.
What are you thinking there, Hot One?
I can make a case stronger for your current reigning and defending NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose.
You know what? I can't disagree with that. That's a great pick.
I think with Mandy going down to NXT, the whole Toxic Attraction faction, it's revitalized her career. Because I mean, Mandy was really never seen as somebody who can go between the ring.
She was just seen as eye candy, not as and she's getting a chance to show that she can actually go.
She can actually go, which is amazing. And the faction, she has this just charisma about her as a faction leader, because she runs Toxic Attraction.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She just filled that role so well, and the change in the character was, so better suited for what she's doing now. And I think a lot of times that, us as fans, when you have somebody on the main roster go down to NXT, we're always like, oh, well, what are they doing? This person doesn't need to be down there. They just need to refresh their character. For her, going down to NXT saved her career, man. It really could have, given her a new lease on life, because who knows where she was with the company. But right now, she's the hottest thing in NXT.
Both literally and
figuratively. You damn right.
And stuff. So yeah, that's a really, really good pick. You know what I mean? Once Joey K gets back, we'll let him give his take. But you know what? Let's kind of move into so we're not just sitting here with dead air and stuff, and it's less editing that I have to do, and stuff. Let's talk about our male wrestler of the year. Hot One, who do you got? I think this one's going to be tough, because this one was probably the one that gave me the most. I had to think about the longest.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a little oddball. I'm gonna be different, man. For male wrestler of the year, there's been a lot of great candidates. We've had a lot of great champions. We've had a lot of great stories across a lot of great companies. And for me, I want someone who is gonna move me. And I want someone who makes me feel like anytime they're wrestling, I have to watch them. Um, and then for me, it doesn't have to matter if you're the champion. I just have to want to watch your matches.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of getting you into the mindset of where I go for my thoughts as of right now, because I'm not going with the champion because AEW's champion right now, CM Punk, is hurt. Mox is a great interim champion. WWE's champion Roman Reigns makes me sick. Impact's champion of Josh Alexander, in my opinion, right now, is the best world champion of any major promotion. But I'm really having issues with this because I want to say Josh Alexander for the point that I just stated, because he's been having a hell of a year. He is a champion for a major promotion.
I'm honestly shocked that you would even consider him after he dethroned your guy Moose.
Moose, I know, yeah. That's why I'm having issues picking him. You know what? I'm gonna go with my first instinct. I'm gonna go with my heart. I'm not taking Josh Alexander. I'm gonna take who I had planned out to pick for wrestler of the year so far. Midway through the year, my wrestler of the year is Wheeler Yuta.
Wow.
To have somebody that I feel like he's taken this big of a jump in his career, that every time I see him wrestling, I want to see him wrestle. It's gotten to the point to where Wheeler's in the match, I'm gonna watch it. They announced him and Daniel Garcia, who we already instantly went, damn, that's gonna be a barn burner.
Oh yeah.
He's not a major champion. He is the pure champion. But to me, Wheeler Yuta right now has the drawing power of a top guy. His year this far makes him in that upper echelon of top guys right now. Will he continue it throughout the year? We'll see. But for me, wrestler of the year, it has to right now go to Wheeler Yuta, because that's who I want to see the most out of anybody. Any current top champion, that's who I want to see right now.
Wait, what I missed? I was taking a shit.
Yeah, I was just going to say, ladies and gentlemen, back from I was thought for a minute there. I thought we were going to have to go on another long extended break with that Joey K, because he's trying to find the perfect toilet.
God damn, that was.
I
brutal.
guarantee you he didn't wipe.
So we were trying to fill some time, while you were taking the Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl.
Oh, you could have just went ahead. My picks are fucking.
That's what we were doing, actually.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, so Giovanni was just giving his pick for his male wrestler of the year so far, and he went with Wheeler Yuta.
Okay.
And we discussed our picks for female wrestler of the year. I had Bianca Belair, and who'd you have, Hot One?
Mandy Rose.
Wow, really?
Oh.
I'm genuinely surprised by that pick, because NXT is such a goddamn fucking dumpster fire.
But she's the
only thing we're watching.
Bright spots on.
I'll give you that.
Nikita Lyons is the only reason I watch NXT 2.0.
Yeah. So who's your pick for female wrestler of the year, Joey K?
Female, I think you guys both have solid picks. Probably my 2 and 3. Number 1 is going to be Thunder Rosa.
All right.
She's had some great matches, some not so good matches, but we are only talking halfway through the year awards here, right? First half, she's had some solid performances. When was the cage match?
It was
like March or April.
It was March, because it was like a week and a half after Revolution.
I can't fault somebody for shitty production, and I think she had a solid match. I think the right person won. Although, you know, I love Britt Baker. I think she could be female performer of the year, but seems like she's kind of taking a break a little bit here. She's not
Yeah, it
really
is
around
weird.
so
She's
much.
been missing in action.
On the back burner.
Since Double or Nothing,
Yeah.
right? I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah,
with that?
since she won the belt, since she won the Invitational.
Right. So, but I think Thunder Rosa, she's having a solid year overall.
Hot take.
She's performed with people that I don't think are on her level. Tony Storm. You know, I
Marina
think
Shafir.
Exactly. This is the problem right now in AEW's women division. There's a huge divide. There's a top tier and there's everybody else. And she is doing everything she can to try to bring these people up to this level. Mm-hmm. Some nights are successful, some nights are not, but it doesn't stop her from trying to do it. So my pick's Thunder Rosa.
Timeout.
Uh-oh.
God, I hate shooting on Thunder Rosa on a hot take.
Here we go. I know. Oh God.
Because I'm a Texan and I love Thunder Rosa. I really do.
Anymore. They fucking
and last year, and this is my whole issue, and this is my counter complaint to that. Last year, midway through, Thunder Rosa was the clear-cut women's wrestler of the year because she was chasing for the title. She was doing all the extras. She had that banger of a match with Alley Catch and GCW. You literally did not see anybody else doing as much as Thunder Rosa did. So I think Thunder Rosa kind of suffers from the chase being better than the championship.
Oh, she's got the Hangman Page effect.
I didn't even really like Hangman chasing. Anyway, Thunder Rosa right now this year has done a significant different work rate. She has not done the GCW shows. She has not done the Warrior Wrestling shows. She did drop her Warrior Wrestling show when she won the AEW title because she said she was going to be doing more with AEW. If more with AEW meant wrestling the Marina Shafirs, the Tony Storms, the local jobbers, the Serena Deebs. Actually, I like the Serena Deeb matchup.
Yeah.
She, in my opinion, has taken a step back this year from where she was last year due to the work rate, due to the, she had the same crap opponents last year, but she was undeniable because she was doing so much. Right now, it's hard for me to say that she is number one just because there's times where you even forget that Thunder Rosa is champion because you don't see her. And not just on AEW, everywhere else. Let me make it very clear. Not just on AEW's bad writing, sometimes of not putting her in, but everywhere else that she used to do. She took a significant step back to be able to do her Mission Pro Wrestling and as champion with AEW because she said she was going to have obligations that haven't come to fruition yet.
Fair point.
And it's kind of hard to say that she's the ace in the company woman-wise when they have an undefeated champion, even though she is the drizzling dog shits, that's a female as well. Hot take there, Jade Cargill and Jade Cargill Brand and Stokely and all them. They're 32-0, baby. And
for fuck's sake, you're giving me the Goldberg shtick, dude. I can't even take you fucking serious now with that. Most of her matches are squash matches. It's fucking,
I'm just fucking joking with the last take.
She's wrestling fucking Janelle from Akron, Ohio on fucking Rampage at 10:25. Get the fuck out of here.
That last take with Jade actually was a shoot. That was just to get you guys' reaction because I saw DDJ instantly was like, fuck this guy. I think we all know she's going to drop that title to Athena, and Athena needs to go on and get the main title. Her and Thunder Rosa could probably tear it down, but they're too busy training the rest of the division. Okay. So, another reason for Thunder Rosa.
I'm going to give you a hot take right back. 4 matches.
Okay.
Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm, Marina Shafir, Serena Deeb, and Britt Baker.
Okay.
2 of those 4 were absolute stinkers.
Yes.
But was that on Thunder Rosa?
Depends on who you ask on the Marina Shafir match.
I was just about to say the same thing Giovanni Tuhati just said.
Yeah,
Marina
because
Shafir shouldn't have been in there in that featured spotlight. So
this is very true. Marina Shafir's ability and greenness aside, it looked like somebody wasn't willing to play ball, which isn't the first time we've heard of that from Thunder Rosa. I'm looking at you, Fiery Crotch Evilise. But the Tony Storm match, I don't think Tony was right until I don't think she's actually been right. I don't want to speculate on what I mean by been right, but I don't think she's been right till very, very recently.
I said this already. I don't think her work in AEW has been up to par for what people expect.
Mm-hmm.
But two of those matches, Serena Deeb and Britt Baker, those were fucking classics for women's division this year. Now, tell me on your two picks, DDJ is probably going to be a lot easier for you. Give me two classics for each of your picks for match.
Becky Lynch at WrestleMania.
That's why I said yours is going to be easier, I think.
And then, in all honesty, I think she had a really good match with Asuka on a Monday Night Raw.
Fair. Which wasn't even supposed to be that match, if I recall, right? Was that the whole?
No, that was Becky and Asuka.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Bianca was a champion.
Okay, fair. Javon, same question for your pick.
If I'm right, Toxic Attraction was in War Games.
I'm talking.
Yes, with Dakota Kai.
So Mandy Rose was in that.
But that was last year.
I'm not counting team matches. I'm not counting group events.
Now we're doing this bullshit. Okay.
No,
okay.
We're talking about female performer of the year.
And we're talking about this year, not last year. War Games was last year.
It was last year? Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Mandy has had a lot of defenses that have been multi-women matches. It hasn't been a lot of one-on-ones, but that doesn't take anything away from the character.
Well, all right, but I'm saying War Games is a team match.
Oh yeah, no.
I'll give you a multi-person match, which is fine. You want a 3-way, 4-way, whatever.
Okay. Stand and deliver, fatal 4-way. The fatal 4-way stand and deliver was greatness. It depends on what your feelings are with Wendy Chu. Because I
think she's hilarious.
Like the match, it wasn't like your classic match, but it was a good match with Wendy Chu.
Okay, so there you go.
Wait. Okay. You guys sit there, and especially this episode have been shit, and especially you, Joanne, have been shitting all over Orange Cassidy. Yet you're singing the praises of Wendy Chu.
No, I did not sing the praises of Wendy Chu. I said it depends on how you feel about Wendy Chu.
Yeah, and all the match with Mandy Rose and Wendy Chu was a good match. It depends on how you feel about Wendy Chu.
To me, Rose carried the match. I'm not a big fan of Wendy Chu's sleeping gimmick. Is it funny? Yeah, maybe for the first time you see it, but as a constant thing, gets a little old. Same thing with Orange Cassidy's kicks. By God, I'm getting tired of the I'm getting tired of it. I really am. If he can really wrestle. If not, just stop taking time from somebody that can have that spot.
Okay, so we each could come up with two really solid matches for each of our picks, right?
Yes.
Now, the flip of that, I bet we could come up with a lot of fucking stinkers for them too.
Yeah.
So I think we're kind of all on a level playing field here. Yeah. Okay. I think the worst part of this for each one of our picks, I think all three are good picks, but you are limited by the remaining roster and who you are working with.
Well, she just did a match with Roxy that was great. Or Roxanne Perez, sorry. Now,
it's funny that you mentioned that because our picks all come from women's divisions that are really are very top and bottom heavy. It's not like
Oh yeah, they are
solid. Yeah, it's funny that the company with the arguably the best women's division, really none of us picked someone from there. That being
well, I mean, Deanna has not been champion.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, Mickey James was champion. Now Tasha Steelz is champion. It's just meh.
Jordynne Grace is actually the champion.
See, I didn't even know that Jordynne Grace won the belt after her Benoit. You know what? I'm not going there.
But I mean, I just thought that was funny. I was thinking about that just as you were talking about, the way that the women's divisions in these other companies are constructed. I mean, I think Impact again has the most solid women's division, yet none of us picked someone from there
because of booking.
Yes,
because of booking. That's the issue there.
That's fair.
So I think, and every one of our picks are limited by booking here.
Yes,
because let's be honest, even Bianca. Who did you pick as your two matches, DJ, against Asuka and Becky Lynch?
Yep.
Two of the top tier women in all of WWE's women's division. Okay.
Yeah,
they have more, but we don't see it.
Charlotte never takes losses.
Charlotte doesn't take an L. Plus, she's been out for a while now.
I will say this. The match that Bianca had with Carmella at Money in the Bank wasn't bad.
Melo's money.
It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. It was a match. It was something that happened. It was a beginning, a middle, and thankfully an ending. So there's that. Jovan.
Probably a happy ending for Corey Graves.
Probably good.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that.
The savior of misbehavior.
Jesus.
And Jovan, I get your pick because, yeah, Mandy's probably only one of the people that are like one of the few performers that really makes you possibly want to watch NXT right now because there's not a lot to fucking watch there.
Mandy Rose makes Jovan want to do other things too.
I'm sure it does.
That's Nikita Lyons.
Oh, slap the hand to that shit. No, so you are kind of like limited by your booking. You're limited by your talent. You're limited by your airtime. Here we are in 2022, halfway through 2022, and we're still talking about like women not getting booked in the best way. Impact has the best women. I think we've all said this multiple times that we think they have the best women's division, but the booking to it's kind of like middle of the road booking, which really kind of sucks, and it puts a damper on some really talented people. And whatever you feel about Jordynne Grace, her Benoit comments, look, that's her personal fucking opinion. Good for her. She wanted to air it out and say it, then fuck it. Because the truth is this, you can be an amazing performer and then do something absolutely fucking terrible in life. And, people have the right to say what they're going to say about it. And then she came out, she apologized, blah, 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 all that bullshit. That's all fine and great because people want to make a case that like, oh, let's just talk about Benoit's career. Let's not talk about the fact that he did fucking murder his wife and son. But, oh my God, do you remember him in fucking Japan? Yeah, dude, I do. But mostly I remember him fucking killing his wife and kid. Like, what the fuck, dude? That kind of sticks out the forefront a little bit in the aspect of things, like not just like, oh man, remember when he won the title at Mania? Yeah.
Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
What the fuck, man? We can't really celebrate
WWE Hall of Famer Jimmy the Superfly Snuka.
Yeah, and you know what? If Vince McMahon covered up Benoit's fucking murder suicide ordeal, maybe he'd be in the Hall of Fame too, but I guess not. So it just depends on the time frame and the era that you wrestled in. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. But if we're gonna criticize Jordynne Grace for her comments about Chris Benoit, you literally can't do the same thing to her and say, well, Jordynne Grace this or that, because now you're doing the same thing that she did that you're fucking bitching about. You know what I'm saying? If she's complaining about Chris Benoit as a fucking human being a terrible person at the end of his life compared to his body of work as a professional wrestler, you can't say, well, fuck Jordynne Grace because she's a fucking terrible person for calling somebody out and giving her fucking personal opinion on it. So fuck her wrestling ability. It's the same fucking thing, just not on the same scale. Because last time I checked, I don't think Jordynne Grace ever actually murdered anybody. I haven't seen that in fucking news. So
clear disconnect though. Me and Jordynne Grace, the reason I didn't go Jordynne Grace has nothing to do with the Benoit comment.
Fair, but you did mention it.
I did mention it because it does factor into me because it's like I said, at the end of the day, we're fans. And even when I start thinking about, because I honestly forgot that she was even champion, I did still think that Tasha Steelz was champion. So even then put some on there with, I didn't know she was champ.
Well, there's too much other wrestling going on, and this is Impact's problem. They're getting buried by everybody else.
Yep.
We're too hyped about Forbidden Door and everything going on in AEW from Forbidden Door to pay attention to anything in Impact right now.
But that's the thing, too, though, because their booking of Jordynne Grace, and it does go to booking, because Jordynne Grace, to me, can't go from being in the Ultimate X for the X Division title, and then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, she's your women's champion. She's your Knockouts champion. Fair. How does that happen? Because I honestly didn't even think that she was in contention for the women's championship or the Knockouts title.
It was a Queen of the Mountain match. That's how she won it. So it wasn't like it was a one-on-one and stuff. So there was like 5 or 6 women, and it was a multi-woman match.
All right, let's get off this.
Let's move on, Joey K. Giovanni, when you came back, Giovanni just finished up giving his take on male wrestler of the year being Wheeler Yuta. Who do you got for your male wrestler of the year so far?
Strong pick, dude. That's a strong fucking pick. My male performer of the year. Fuck, that's a really hard one at this point. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I like the case for Wheeler.
There's a lot of people you can go with.
There is a lot of fucking people to go with right now. And there's a case for fucking everybody. However, I will go with no one.
Oh, that's a hot take.
I have no pick on that. And the reason is this. I think this year we went on a lot about FTR, the tag team divisions. Look, the thing about FTR is this. They're putting on great matches, but they're having some great matches with some great opponents. The tag team divisions are really blowing up. So for an individual male performer of the year, it's really hard. Look at a lot of the things going on in AEW.
I feel like you're cheating.
We're all faction based right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Blackpool. You got, the
Jericho
fucking
Appreciation Society.
That fucking shit show. You got,
the Eddie
House
Kingston group.
Yeah,
House of Black.
yeah.
Eddie Kingston's group. You got the Andrade, the AFO.
Yeah,
no, it's the LIJ.
But then now the La Facción Ingobernable with the new member possibly coming soon.
Yeah, so you got a lot of faction stuff happening. So it's starting to take away a lot from these individual matches. But gun to my head, you want me to actually pick somebody? I'm gonna go with a very simple choice. Even after injury and no time frame for return, Bryan Danielson, still the fucking best wrestler out there right now.
Mark,
fuck you. Get a haircut, hippie. Let me.
That is the line of the year right there. Get a haircut, you fucking hippie.
Let me be clear. Danielson, the going heel and doing this thing to start the Blackpool Combat Club was fucking money. I like seeing Danielson wrestle the way I've waited his entire fucking WWE career to wrestle. That didn't help. Also,
just made your throw look really fucked up,
dude. You look like somebody's grandmom who just woke up, bro. What the fuck?
Like Kyle Broflovski with his hat off.
I hate all of you guys.
No, nobody right now is topping Danielson, and I don't. Even he's out injured right now. God knows when he's coming back. How it's going to play out. His matches, you name an opponent, he's had a great match against. The match against Moxley, huh?
Yeah.
How we feel about that? That's a match of the year contender to me. But he was putting work in on every single match. I can't name a bad match that Danielson's had since his WWE run.
Yeah,
his entire AEW run from last year and this year has been fucking phenomenal.
Yep.
Nobody's beating him. So even though he's injured right now and out, my halfway point, I'm going with Danielson.
All right, so for me, it took me a little bit of time to think about this one. And this one, I like you said, Danielson's a good one. Wheeler Yuta is. I never would have considered that, but Giovanni's case, provided an excellent case for him. I mean, there's so many people you can choose from, but to me, I'm going to go with someone who I think is really just starting to catch fire, and I think is really could have a really nice run this back half of the year. We got to see, we've seen him on TV. He's been all over the place. I'm going with Satnam Singh.
I fucking hate this show. Fuck this place.
Wow. Now, if you
here.
really thought I'm going with that, then you really don't know me at all, you fucker.
Yeah, Satnam Singh.
But
Well,
no,
honestly,
hold
on. Before you even go on,
Before you say Veer.
the real reason is because
whatever happened to Veer? He's not on anymore. I guess we're back to waiting for Veer to arrive.
Whatever. Who gives a fuck? My real pick, honestly, because we did not have tag team of the year in the pick at the beginning of the show. We didn't add that into the list. So
I can't believe I omitted that from the list as soon as I saw him.
And I thought it was intentional, and my actual pick was FTR for male performer of the year, and I was going to choose a tag team because we didn't have tag teams in there.
Mm-hmm.
So FTR was actually my pick for this.
I was going to pick Johnny Rods, and then I remembered what show we were doing.
Jesus Christ.
I thought he was going to say Johnny Swinger.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking A. But anyway, so yeah, that's actually my true pick, and then we switched it up and added tag team of the year, which is obviously going to be FTR. But go on, DDJ, who's your pick?
All right, so for me, like I said, there's so many different people I thought about, but I settled on someone who really is especially the last couple months has picked up a lot of steam, and I think is on pace to have like a killer back half of the year. He basically has taken Bullet Club and arguably brought it to its strongest iteration in probably since the beginning or the days of, when the Bucks and Cody and Kenny were there and stuff. He beat Okada for the IWGP title. He retained it for Vin.
I was gonna say it's about time we finally gave Chase Owens some love around here.
Got him.
He's so fucking pissed.
We'll have to ask him when he comes back on. Who's hey, which one pisses you off more, Chase Owens or Satnam Singh?
Fucking Chase Owens.
Guys, if you're new to this show, Giovanni Tuhati hates Chase Owens with a passion.
Just always.
I do not understand why he's a wrestler.
The happiest day of his life this year was when Chase Owens and Bad Luck Fale lost the tag titles to Cobb and the Great O'Khan.
I drank to that. I drank more than the Great O'Khan did to that.
The Great O'Khan is so fucking awesome.
I fucking love him.
Right, but no,
that's my wrestler of the year. Fuck all you guys. The Great O'Khan.
Great O'Khan's having a fucking year, guys.
So, but no, and then when the promo he cut after he beat Okada, like in the ring, and then the promo in the press conference, man, to me right now, my wrestler of the year is Jay White. And like I said, I think I would not be surprised if when we do this at the end of the year, if I'm still talking about Jay White. That dude is just on fire right now.
He drops the belt on his next defense.
If he
What'd you say?
Drops the belt on his next defense. You know what? End of the year, I won't be surprised if my pick's Jay White either. So because the first half of this year has been really great for him too. I agree.
I think
that's a good pick.
Javon's pick will be his nose.
Oh, I just said it was a good pick. I take it back.
You pick that ass.
Yeah, you picking your ass. Pick me a winner, DDJ.
Yeah, I'll pick you a good one. So all right, so we pretty much wrapped up the show here, but I mentioned this to you guys a couple days ago that I kind of had something that I wanted to kind of share with you and then the rest of our shooters here and stuff.
Oh shit, it's on the air.
What's that?
We're doing this on air. I was Sunday.
Yeah, I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
I have ADD, you guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But you guys know, you two more than a lot of people know how rough this year has been for me. Beginning of the year after just getting back to work after rehabbing, going through surgery and rehabbing a torn ACL only to tear the same ACL again and go through the surgery and rehab, and now when I tweaked my knee about a week and a half ago and kind of everything's on hold right now while I wait to get an MRI. Then I lost my mom, and that was really rough on me, and then having my knee surgery like 3 days before my mom's service, and just it's been so just hard and everything going on with all that stuff and trying to kind of get everything in order with my parents, estate and everything, just to get everything taken care of so we can, just make sure that there's nothing that's tied to them and we can kind of start moving on. And I just found out that in about a week or so that we'll be closing on my parents' house, and it won't, that after next week, it won't be my parents' house anymore. And it's kind of like the last thing that's like that we have that's, like once this is done and it's like, my parents are really gone. It's been a really rough year just with everything. And I just wanted to take a few moments to thank, just anybody out there that's listens to the show. Thank you to, my wife and my awesome son. Thank you to my friend, my horseman brothers, my buddy Patrick, who Jovan met at Forbidden Door, my buddy Sean, and my cousin Jerry, who we all call Bub. Just my family and just all my friends like Charlie, Brandon, Jonathan, Michael, just like so many people that my friend Daryl, my friend Jimmy, just there's so many people I could go through that, and then just especially you two. It's just you guys, we there's this thing called family, and it's a lot of times it's defined by the people that you're tied to, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles. But to me, the family extends much more beyond blood. To me, it's bonds we have with people. It's relationships we have with people. It's the closeness we have with people. Just everything. And like I said, you guys held down the fort when I went through my second knee surgery. Jovan really held down the fort because when I went through my knee surgery, Joey K was going through his stuff. But the one constant throughout everything that I've dealt with this year were my friends, my family, you guys. And it's just, I wanted to take a moment from the bottom of my heart to just thank everybody, because it's just, things are finally starting to like get better. Like things are finally trending upward and look like they're going to stay trending upward. And it's just, if it wasn't for you, every one of you, I don't know if I could have made it through that. So especially you two, thank you.
Man, we love you, man. We do.
We do.
We know it's been a tough year. I went through some shit. We all had some shit, but we know everything you've been going through this year, you know, from the knee and how fucking just absolutely defeated that can make you feel.
And believe me, it's me, especially if you guys could have only heard me because obviously we talk more via chat. Like we don't really do, you know, FaceTime or, you know, like over the phone and stuff. But if you guys could have just heard me just after I got the news about having, you know, and I'm still waiting to find out when it's going to be, but just getting that MRI because I'm thinking all this, I don't know if I can go through this again.
Yeah. You know, from that, you know, and we know it was a really, really tough time losing your mom and stuff this year. And, you know, just a lot of difficult shit. But, you know, we love you, man. We always love you. You know, you're family to us. So when you're struggling, we're all struggling. We're there with you, you know. So, you know, we hope you know that, like, you know, Jovan and I, you know, if I can speak for him for a moment, that, you know, we're always here, brother. We love you. Everybody who listens to the show, you guys been super supportive of the show this entire time. Jovan held it down a lot individually, and you know, at the time
he keep talking like this, his ego is going to be as big as his afro.
Jesus Christ, I know. I fucking might regret saying half this now. That's to fucking double his box at the bottom for the size of his fucking head on camera. But yeah, he held it down for both of us for a while. You know, and then individually for each of us at different points. So, you know, we're like, for everybody listening, people that listen to our show, we're definitely a family. You know, we love each other, we care about each other, we're always here to support each other. So you know, DDJ, we love you, man. We get anything you need, you know, we're always here for you. We got you.
God, we get too sappy for Jovan?
You know, just a little bit. I had to cut off the camera for a second. You guys are being too emotional.
Giovanni didn't want anyone seeing him cry. It's okay. It's okay to cry.
It is, man. And I think you guys, you know, it's I've told both of you this plenty of times. We really are a family, man. I was never blessed to have a sibling my age, right? My parents had kids after they separated later in life, so I have siblings that are younger than I am. My oldest sister sibling is like 13 years, and then my youngest sisters, my youngest half sisters are literally 2 years and 5 years older than my daughter. So, you know, I never had any family besides a cousin that I was real close to that I lost. You know, not too long ago, actually, that I considered like a brother. And you two guys, man, I think what we've all echoed is we truly are family. We're brothers. We're there for each other, good and the bad, you know. Joey K is going through stuff, man. We went through stuff with him. We were wanting to be there. We wanted to check on him. We wanted to make sure he was in the right mental state. DDJ was going through stuff. Same thing, man. We all went through it. We wanted to be there. We wanted to check in on him. We wanted to see how he was doing. How was the rehab? Was it needed? And, you know, to everybody that stuck with us through all of that, man, I appreciate you guys for listening. To people who didn't leave when it was just me trying to put on a show with some people that I knew from, you know, different parts of the industry, whether it was, you know, shout out to the guys who did come and help. The ref that came on with me, you know, Curtis Rich, great guy. To some of the guys from the prediction leagues who came and talked about the prediction leagues and wrestling with me, you know, thank you guys for coming on and keeping us floating, because the show isn't a one-man show. It doesn't work that way. You need to have the difference of opinions, and that's what all three of us do. We have different opinions, but at the end of the day, we're able to have those different opinions. We're able to have these hot takes at each other because we love each other, and that's the base of a true family. So you guys got it right on the head.
Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah, you should see us all argue at the Thanksgiving table. Not really about politics, because none of us really give a fuck about that. But we will argue over pro wrestling for the holidays like some motherfuckers.
You guys think we're joking? I've already been to a show with both of these dudes here. I've almost died at a show with Joey K. Okay. That happened in Baltimore. Would have been a shit place to die because Baltimore literally is the pits. And DDJ and we've had like two experiences. The Warrior experience was awesome. I almost saw DDJ make out with a man. And then I'm not gonna say who that man was, Matt Taven. And then the second
I
time,
hope Matt Taven doesn't listen to the show because he's gonna think I'm like some super.
A, he probably doesn't.
knows.
B,
He knows.
he probably doesn't listen if you ever listen to me talk about how he smells. So
Yeah.
fuck.
So
You know what, Joey K? I love you, Jovan. Go fuck yourself.
oh, I love you too, guys. This is episode 44.
Oh, time out. Time out. One last hit here. So we're recording tonight, this weekend, July 16th, Saturday night, 7 p.m.
Yes.
My sister, Christine Williams, will be in the cage.
Welcome up,
Art of
Christine.
War Cage
Fuck
Fighting
him up,
25.
Fuck him up.
She'll be fighting Art of War Cage Fighting 25. It's coming to you live on pay-per-view. Check the website out. It's starfund.app, which is starfund.app. You can order the pay-per-view.
Hey, you know me.
Wow. That was the whitest thing I've ever heard you say, sir. That is, and
I
that's
can get
fucking
whiter.
I know you can. I know you can, but you're really that your mid-year award for whitest thing you said right now is that one. But starfund.app pay-per-view is $20. Jump in there, Christine Williams. I don't know where she's at on the card, somewhere probably in the mid-card, but she'll be fighting this weekend, MMA fight once again in the cage. She's prepared, she's ready, so hopefully she comes out with a big W this weekend. But we'll be supporting her. The show is supporting her. Look for our Shootin Shit logo on her shorts, on her.
I want a photo
shirt.
autograph, man, with this
what's that?
logo on it. I want an autograph photo of her with the logo on, man.
Oh yeah, we can hook that up. Also, if you do want to support her in any way, I'm just gonna give you this website real quick. MMATco.com. Christine Williams, her fight shirt is on there. It is not the new one just yet. It is her old logo, which is actually pretty badass. She's got shirts, hoodies, stickers on there. So they're a great company. They do support their fighters. So since she has some shirts on there, she's actually got a badass shirt with a kind of a picture of her with the sugar skull face on it. She also does have a pretty badass sticker. You guys don't know this, but my sister does have she works on a pig farm. She works with pigs. So I'm gonna try to blow this up real quick. I don't know how well that's gonna work. She has an awesome sticker. Her logo sticker is see if this comes up. This little it's kind of blurry. You probably can't get it because the filter on there. It is a pig decorated as a sugar skull, which is pretty badass. I like it. But she's got shirts on there, hoodies, all kinds of good shit. Support her in any way. But again, starfund.app. That's where you can get the pay-per-view. Saturday night, 7 p.m., July 16th. Coming to you live from Newtown, PA. I'll be there cage side. Look for my giant fucking head cheering for my sister.
Look for the giant head in the cutoff shirt.
Cut off, baby. Now I might be rocking the basketball jersey. I don't know. I might just go full on basketball jersey.
He's gonna be sleeveless regardless.
Either way, don't give a fuck. Sun's out, guns out, bitches. Let's go.
Look out for the guy who has his nuts out near the cage. That's Joey K.
All right, Giovanni Ciotti, take us home.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will put everything for Christine on our show notes, so you can look at everything from where to see the fight, look at her merch. You guys can do it since, it's easy just to click and go there. So, wrapping up episode 44, our mid-years, with a thank you for listening. If you stayed this far, we love you guys very much. We are a family, you guys included. You are part of our shooters gallery. You are part of our family. Thank you for letting us into your earwaves every week. This is 44. Thanks to everybody, the guys in catering, of course, the ladies down there in payroll, the Johners Podcasting Network that puts up with us, and all of you. Good night, Irene.
Do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Follow the show on Twitter at SHOOTINSHT, and thanks for listening.